Yo, and this is Mikeratto. And welcome to a new video where today we're going to discuss what if Nexus returned in 2020. But before that, subscribe now for more videos, like, comment below, and share. For more notifications of my channel, click on the bell. And let's do this. The Nexus that I'm actually going with here is not the original members, but for the sake of the story, let's just say that they are the new Nexus and not CM Punk's Nexus. Why? How? And why do I prefer to change the members? Since some of the members are either main eventers or has problems with the WWE. Main eventers such as Daniel Bryan, which he can actually elevate the talent here at Nexus, but he doesn't need that much. If their leader is Wade Barrett, and if you're making Daniel Bryan a member of this, he's a champion, he has a greater career than Barrett, so who will the people actually follow? And that will actually make a dissension to the group. Who will you follow? The world champion or your leader? So Daniel Bryan is eliminated, and also Ryback in this equation. Because of his issues with the WWE, you know how many things he cuts a promo or a lot of shoot stuff for the WWE. But Wade Barrett returns in 2020. So there's that. There's the step one. And also in this what if, so that it can actually help the story. Let's just say that Wade Barrett is actually willing to wrestle and has no I'm not sure if he has problems on his body or whatever, or he's retired, but let's just say to the story, he still competes. And Heath Slater was never fired. Curtis Axel, he's not fired also in this timeline. And also, we need new members. I'm not sure if combining this with Retribution will work, but since they are also former members of the NXT roster, let's just say that it's gonna be the combination of Retribution and the former Nexus. And the story will go. Now, for this story, the Nexus, the Retribution will debut first without a name, and it's not gonna be Retribution, it's gonna be Nexus. And there's gonna be rumors that Wade Barrett will return to the WWE as the commentator, which will happen just like in real life. But here, Wade Barrett is actually behind of all the attacks that are happening on the main roster. And in their booking, they will not look weak like how Retribution looks now. Instead, they're gonna be treated like the former Nexus. They will attack everyone on the backstage. People may say, are repeating the same storyline, but in terms of making them relevant, they need to assault stars. Not to say, in accordance to the story, in kayfabe, they need to eliminate high stars. And also, they will also encounter Daniel Bryan backstage. They're gonna be also one of their targets. Since he's a former member of Nexus, it also makes sense to attack him. The Nameless group will attack Daniel Bryan. And then, because of the altered storyline, the two people that I said, Curtis Axel and Heath Slater, will still stay on the WWE, but they're not gonna be on television. And then Wade Barrett is doing his commentator stuff on NXT, which the Retribution group in real life, or the Nameless group in this timeline, will also go to NXT to make their statement, which in a few months, it's gonna be revealed that Mustafa Ali was the leader, but he's not. He's gonna be the second in command for the group. and the real leader will be revealed more plans in the future. And there are gonna be segments where Wade Barrett is actually having a telephone call, like cell phone, during his commentary on NXT. There are gonna be segments that is going away to the commentary position, and when that happens, well, there's gonna be an assault for the NXT episode. Like if it's a tag team match, well, or tag team match, or whichever match it is happening, well, it's gonna happen. And yeah, sooner or later, well, Wade Barrett is gonna be revealed as the leader of the group, and the two members of the former Nexus roster or members of the same group will return at his side, and then the group is now known as the Nexus, which they are better, stronger, and with a new iteration of Wade Barrett's leadership, which while they will also target the NXT Championship. Well, what better way to actually make your statement than to go with NXT first? Well, why not the main roster? Well, since the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship, well, they're busy at the moment and they have their own storylines. So that means that Retribution will stay, or NXT Nexus will actually stay for NXT first. That means that some of their members will be champions. While before, NXT doesn't have championships, and with the new NXT having championships, well, they can elevate the titles there and they can have a good storyline, which, well, it will elevate their stock for the time being. And that means, well, Nexus will also go to the main roster before the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Why is that? Well, they will also insert NXT on this timeline. So what will be the matches? Well, NXT is gonna be involved in the Champions match. And since some members of the NXT roster are actually the Nexus roster, well, the title of the pay-per-view, Survivor Series Battle of the Four Brands or something like that, which it will compose of Nexus, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Well, for the NXT Championship, well, sometime Wade Barrett will win the title, well, because they want to elevate the group. Why Barrett? Because a leader needs something, and that something is a title to actually make his members follow him through. And they will make the NXT Championship relevant and even fight with the world champions during this time. Which, while in real life, there's gonna be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, with Wade Barrett now inserted in the mix in this timeline. Which, while Nexus will try to assault the match, will try to interfere, then Raw and SmackDown and NXT roster will interfere in the match, which will cause to Wade Barrett using a weapon and hitting Drew McIntyre somewhere, because, well, Roman Reigns' character, well, it is unbeatable. Like, it's gonna be a spear from Roman Reigns, and then Wade Barrett will somehow throw out of him to the ring, outside of the ring, and then pin McIntyre or hit his finisher and make the ultimate statement by beating the two world champions of the brands that the main roster was. So it actually elevates the NXT brand itself. And as for the other matches, well, we can say that Nexus will try to win their match. Some of it will be won by NXT, some will be won by Nexus, some will be won by Raw or SmackDown. Just for the main event, let's have Wade Barrett beat both of the world champions. And his NXT run, well, it's gonna be long, and but not all members of the Nexus group will be champions of that brand. Let's just say that the NXT Championship and the tag team and or the women's only will be the respective members of the Nexus, and the storyline will go through till, well, Triple H will say that they will go to the main roster, and yeah, they will help the Nexus now. Well, because the Nexus actually elevated NXT, and they have a lot of ratings for now. Well, because Nexus has been attacking Raw and SmackDown, and this heat will actually affect NXT, and it will grow some views rather than usual views. And yeah, I know that this may sound, some of this what if may sound ridiculous, but yeah, it's for the sake of the timeline, and it's for the elevation of the talent, which, well, after that, Finn Balor will just win the title, Adam Cole, or whichever champion that actually gonna defeat Wade Barrett, so that the title will have a lot of more elevation. And since the Universal Championship is busy with Roman Reigns, and in the real timeline, Drew McIntyre actually defeated Randy Orton, well, some time passed after Drew McIntyre's second or third rivalry, or first, after beating Orton, Wade Barrett will challenge him and he will win the championship before Mania 2021. Which, well, Wade Barrett, well, the guy is more than ever pushed, but there is one certain Fiend who will challenge him. Well, why the Fiend? Are you going to destroy him at Mania? Well, also remember that the Fiend was a former member of the Nexus, not the Fiend exactly, but his former gimmick, which, well, I forgot his name. Wait. Which is Husky Harris, which, well, they will elevate that on the storyline purposes, and they will have a Firefly Funhouse match for the time being at WrestleMania 37 for the WWE Championship. While Wade Barrett will actually look strong before Mania, but while I'm not sure, I put myself into the corner. I put myself into the corner when I actually think of this match. But the storyline of this will be amazing. They will talk about the Nexus past. But if you're thinking that Bray Wyatt is actually, well, he's just one. He also had Alexa Bliss. Well, some of the members of the Raw roster will either try to help the Fiend or something like that, or the Fiend will just hunt them one by one, injuring them before Mania kayfabely, which he will took them out before Mania, and also he will have Braun Strowman. While in this timeline, the Fiend will just completely manipulate Braun Strowman into something that he is now the black sheep yet again. And since Braun Strowman, he can destroy a lot of superstars, well, I think that the Fiend and Braun can actually take out a lot of members of the Nexus, and Wade Barrett is the last one heading into Mania, which, well, the Fiend will defeat Wade Barrett. But why is that? Well, in a sense that Wade Barrett wins the championship, while it elevates the Nexus and the NXT itself. Well, because of the tension that they had in elevating the NXT championship, and they have this huge heat because, well, they have this huge storyline from every brand that they go to, and even Wade Barrett defeated two dominant world champions. Well, it's gonna be a huge storyline heading to WrestleMania and challenging the Fiend, which is one of the hottest characters in the WWE right now, at Mania, and the Fiend winning. And remember that one of his former personas, Husky Harris, is also a member of the former Nexus, which they will had a huge storyline telling for that match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. So yeah, I booked that, and to think that the Fiend won the match. And then while he will have a long title reign here, and if people will say, well, why put the title on the Fiend if the guy, the persona doesn't need the title? But in a storyline sense, well, it will make sense for what I think. You can contradict that on the comment section down below. But after that, well, Wade Barrett will actually fail on his championship rematches, well, because they're building off the Fiend himself. That means that they will focus on the other championships of the WWE. Some of them will just go for the mid card and tag team championships to actually elevate their stock. And for the WWE Championship, it's gonna be pure Wade Barrett. A pure The Fiend and pure Wade Barrett from before. So yeah, The Fiend will have a long title run here. And if you're thinking that The Miz didn't cash in yet, well, it's either he will cash in before Money in the Bank, which will cause two things. That's him being defeated by The Fiend, or him cashing in after a new champion was crowned, and then, well, The Fiend will just destroy the new champion, something like that, or he will just go for the Universal Championship, which that's not the main focus of our story. And then after that, well, the Nexus will just dominate the WWE, and they will have mid-card or tag team title runs, or some of them will just stay in the WWE, or some may actually revert back to NXT to complete their dominance yet again. They will just build momentum, as well as, yeah, it's gonna be a huge thing for 2021 for the Nexus, which that will be their year, but none of them will win world championships after that. And some may actually grow organically with the fans, which, well, they are gonna be over, which, well, they can win championships and they can have storyline with main event stars, which they will have huge story time telling. So that's gonna be for my what if. It's gonna be a 1 year only what if. For that sense, I know that this what if actually took 17 or 18 minutes, and it has only a short story. But yeah, if you consider it, well, yeah, at least they have the world championship, the tag team championship, and they elevated the NXT championship and something like that. So yeah, this is only for my short story of what if Nexus returned in 2020. And thank you for watching. And again, this is Mikeratto. Subscribe, like, comment below, share, subscribe, and subscribe. Thank you, and peace.